The Angels of Delusion are finally here, with the first character releasing in a couple of days. Sunna, a physical support agent, is releasing in the version 2.6, and she brings some interesting stuff for the support class that previously was only available for other classes. So in this video, I want to talk about everything that you need to know about Sunna and how you can get the best out of her. Timestamps are down in the description, but I highly recommend you to watch everything just to make sure that you're going to understand everything about Sunna. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer that all of the information here comes from the creator server, meaning that things are not final and they could change on the future release. Sunna is a support agent that can provide stun damage multiplier for your team, making her a really valuable option as long as you can activate her additional ability, because the stun damage multiplier is locked behind her additional ability. It requires an attack agent or another Angels of Delusion member in your team in order for you to activate it. This makes her a not so good option for anomaly characters and also a not so good option for rupture agents. On top of this, Sunna also has some interesting things on her kit, such as access to another Ether Veil, the Illusion Reprise. This one is really interesting as the effect itself is pointless. It actually only gives 50 attack to all squad members while under the effect, but it's required for her additional ability to work, and on top of this, since Sunna always creates a new Ether Veil whenever she uses her EX special, this means that she provides great value for characters that synergizes with Ether Veil, such as Ye Xiangguang. As for her kit and gameplay, there's a lot of things that we don't need to talk about. I'm just going to focus on the actual moves that you're going to be using while playing Sunna. This is mostly her EX special. Sunna has two different EX specials, but the second one is basically a follow-up for the first EX special. By using the first EX special, you put all your squad members in the Angelic Coordination effect for 40 seconds. But if you keep holding down your EX special, or you use another EX special while in the Angelic Coordination state, Sunna is going to use her second EX special, which activates Ether Veil Illusion Reprise for all squad members for 40 seconds. This second EX special can only be used once every Angelic Coordination state, meaning that in order to use it again, you need to use another EX special and then get access to the follow-up EX special. The Angelic Coordination state is basically Sunna's core skill. It increases the attack of all your squad members based on Sunna's initial attack. To maximize this attack buff, you need a total of 3500 attack. And when summing up both Ether Veil and Sunna's Angelic Coordination, she can provide a total of 1100 attack to all your squad members. The buff lasts for 40 seconds, so it's really easy for you to keep this with close to 100% uptime. On top of this, using her EX special activates Ether Veil, and whenever any squad member activates an Ether Veil on the team, Sunna gains Claw Sharpness. This is a resource that Bubblegum, the minion that Sunna leaves on the field, can use in order to attack enemies. Sunna can get Claw Sharpness from 3 different sources. The first one is whenever a character activates an Ether Veil. The second is whenever a character applies Anomaly to enemies. And the third one is whenever Sunna uses her ultimate. Claw Sharpeners are consumed by Bubblegum in order to attack enemies and apply a mark on them. This mark can be applied by Bubblegum and also Sunna's EX special, chain attacks, and ultimates. When attack or anomaly characters hit the enemies with this mark, they can explode it to deal damage to enemies depending on their class. The damage is also going to change depending on the attribute of the character that activated the mark. And on top of this, the damage counts as damage from the character that activated the mark. And this is going to be really important when talking about her weapons, since basically Sunna is not dealing damage to enemies. The only things dealing damage to enemies is Bubblegum, which is not Sunna, it's a minion from Sunna, and Cat's Gaze, which is the character on the field dealing damage, not Sunna. So basically that's the whole gameplay loop. You use EX special in order to activate Ether Veils, increase the attack of all your squad members, and then just keep hitting them with the attack or anomaly agent on your team. This is going to trigger Cat's Gaze, deal extra damage, and as long as Sunna has access to Claw Sharpness, Bubblegum is going to keep applying this mark on enemies without you need to swap back to Sunna and use another EX special. Her ultimate deals a lot of damage, generates 6 Claw Sharpness for Sunna, triggers a quick assist, and also heals all your squad members. While both her chain attack and ultimate also apply this mark on enemies, I don't recommend using them that much, since the animation can be a little bit long, and this could be a damage loss for your DPS. And now that you understand how Sunna gameplay works, let's talk about building your Sunna. Sunna's build is really straightforward. For these sets, you should use Moonlight Lullaby 4-piece, as this is the best option for any support agent nowadays. especially because Sunna plays around EX specials. This means that every single time you use the EX specials to reapply Angelic Coordination or just reactivate the Ether Veil, Sunna is going to give a damage boost for all your squad members. There's no reason to use anything else, so just use Moonlight Lullaby on your Sunna. As for the 2-piece, you can use either more energy regeneration with Swing Jazz or use an attack 2-piece. Any other option is not recommended, as Sunna damage potential is not that great. So just focus on providing more utility, either through increased attack or more energy regeneration to access more special attacks. And for your disc stats, things here are also really straightforward. As a character that requires 3500 attack, you're going to be using attack on slot 4 and attack on slot 5 as well. For your disc 6, however, you want to use energy regeneration. I don't recommend using attack here, even if you're not maximizing your attack buff, and this is because Sunna has a really low base energy regeneration, meaning that you need as much energy regeneration as possible. Compared to other support agents which get energy regeneration when leveling up the core, Sunna gets attack, and on top of this, her base energy regeneration is only 1.0 compared to the 1.2 of other characters. So if you want a better uptime on your Moonlight Lullaby and also the core skill and Ether Veil, you should use energy regeneration on your slot 6. Here's a quick table with how much attack substats you need in order to maximize Sunna's attack buff. Keep in mind that even if you're not maximizing the attack buff, Sunna is still completely fine, and it's better for you to focus on getting as much energy regeneration as you can in order to have your EX special available for you whenever possible. And for engines, it's no surprise that Sunna Signature Engine is going to be the best option for her. This is mostly because of the amount of energy regeneration you can get out of this, and Sunna base regeneration is already pretty low. At phase 1, this weapon gives a total of 1.2 energy regeneration for your Sunna, which is a lot of energy for a character that wants to use a lot of EX specials. That's not to mention that you're also going to be providing some damage and attack buff for all your squad members. And since Sunna has 2 different EX special, it's really easy for you to stack this weapon and get access to this buff as soon as possible. If you don't plan on getting her signature engine, using Kaboom the Cannon is still an amazing option, just like it happens with Astra. It gives energy regeneration for your character, and on top of this, it also gives a really good attack buff for all your squad members. Since Sunna also has access to another companion that can hit enemies, Bubblegum can help you stack this weapon even further and get 4 stacks with a higher uptime than other support agents. If you're thinking about Whipping Cradle, as I mentioned before, Sunna is actually not dealing damage to enemies, which makes Whipping Cradle a really bad option on her. She's not going to be able to keep this with good uptime, and she's only going to activate the effect whenever she's on the field hitting enemies with her EX specials and ultimates as well. Yuzuha and other characters can activate this weapon because they are dealing damage to enemies. As for her Mindscapes, Sunna is changing things a little bit because instead of providing the classic resistance ignore on Mindscape 1, she's providing defense reduction on Mindscape 1. It reduces up to 21% defense from the enemies, which can be really interesting if you are able to stack more defense reduction effects, such as Nicole or Ye Xiangguan Mindscapes. Mindscape 2 increases the damage of Cat's Gaze for the active agent, and on top of this, it also gives a 10% attack buff for all your squad members. Mindscape 4 just increases 18% damage for all your squad members after Sunna uses her ultimate, and 18% damage for a Mindscape 4 is definitely a little bit underwhelming. And for Mindscape 6, this is basically the DPS Sunna Mindscape. It increases Sunna crit damage based on her attack, and on top of this, after using any EX special, Sunna gets 100% crit rate for 8 seconds. It also enables Sunna to trigger the Cat's Gaze damage herself. So really, you should only get this one if you're looking to place Sunna on the field and use her to deal damage to enemies. And finally, let's talk a little bit about team compositions. It's no surprise for anyone that Sunna is going to be really good for Ye Xiangguan. As a character that can provide Ether Veil whenever using her EX special, Sunna gives a lot of extra points for Ye Xiangguan, which means more and lighter rotations. A lot of people keep asking if Sunna is going to replace Zhao on the Ye Xiangguan team, and the answer is maybe. As you can see right here, comparing Sunna to Zhao is a massive damage increase thanks to increased stun multiplier, which Ye Xiangguan can make massive use of. However, if you pay attention closely, you're going to notice that Sunna and Zhao can get similar damage potential as Sunna and Dialing. And Dialing is much better used by other characters in the game. So while you can use Sunna to replace Zhao, you can also replace Dialing with Sunna and then use Dialing somewhere else. It's also really important to know that this extra value from Sunna only comes from the use of her additional ability. If you can't make use of her additional ability, let's say for example you're playing against an enemy with really high stun multiplier, then Sunna value for Yeshangguan teams is not going to be that different from Zhao. As for other attack agents, Sunna is going to be a really good option and pretty much on the similar power level than Astra. And that's mostly because Sunna can provide access to the stun damage multiplier, which is really strong and much more than just attack for your other members. However, it's also really important to note that Astra has some more unique things on her kit, such as the fact that you barely interact with her, and on top of this, she also provides chain attacks and extra quick assist for all your squad members. If you can make use of the quick assist and chain attacks, then Astra is going to be a better option than Sunna. However, if you're not making use of these and you're just looking for the maximum possible damage, then Sunna with the stun damage multiplier is going to be a really good option for any attack unit. As for Anomaly and Rupture teams, they are not going to make a lot of use from Sunna since you cannot activate the additional ability, and a lot of Sunna's power comes from the access to the stun damage multiplier. If in the future we get a way to activate Sunna's additional ability and still play some of these other Anomaly or Rupture characters, then Sunna definitely can find some space there. But as of now, there's simply no way for you to play around Rupture units, and for Anomaly units, it requires you to pull Arya on the second half of the version 2.6. And that's everything for my Sunna guide. If you still have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments down below or join my Discord server. Thank you so much for watching this video, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.